important because I've got so much wonderful information to share, and I've got a special guest joining me today that I hope is going to share a lot of hope and encouragement and positivity for all of you for what you can expect moving forward on your journey. So welcome, everybody. I always like to get started a little bit early so that I can make sure that everything is working well and live and that we don't have any technical hiccups or glitches. And so that's where we are today. So I'm just going to welcome all of you as we're getting started. Say hello, give a little wave, let me know where you're joining from. Let me know that you guys are all here. That's what I want to hear from all of you. So say hi, everyone. I think everything seems to be working well from what I can tell. I'm just checking in with my assistant down here, making sure that that's going well. Yes, good. Yeah, I got some hellos. Beautiful. Excellent, excellent. It's always nice when you can press start and everything works okay. So that always gives me a bit of relief as we get going. I love to see all the hellos. Maryland, UK, Germany. Tons of more hellos, which is awesome. Dallas, Temecula, not far from me. Another Germany. Beautiful. Canada, Bahrain, South Africa. Wow, we've got a good reach. Cyprus, Bangladesh. Wow, we're hitting the world. Both hemispheres and across the globe. It's beautiful. Saudi Arabia, Dallas, UK again. It's awesome. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is great. So it's nice to be here with all of you. And we're going to talk about some really, really important things. I know all of you have questions potentially that you want to get answered. And I'm going to do my best to answer them. But what we're going to do is we're going to save those questions to the end so that we can get through all the information, all the material that I want to share with you. And first and foremost, when we start everything, we're actually going to start with my special guest. So that's where we're going to start. But I'm going to give everyone just a couple more minutes because I did start early, just a couple more minutes to get joining with us so that everything is ready to go. All right, let's see here. Everything seems good down here. Wonderful. All right. We've got a bunch of eyes watching, which I always like to see. Like I said, we'll give it just another minute. There's some housekeeping for all of you as we get started. It's technology. Sometimes things happen. Maybe there's a little freeze, a little pause. Maybe my sound or video is a smidge delayed. That's what happens in the world of technology. Don't fret. We will make it all work. I promise. We've experienced it all over the years, and we do our best to roll with the punches and make things work out. And so, with all of that, I want to make sure that you all have something to drink, maybe water, a pen to take notes, and a pad to take those notes on. And that you are ready to focus and give me all your attention so we can support you and give you all the information you want. Lori made a fun comment and said, hopefully my car is dried out. I'll pop that on the screen. Let's see if it pops up there. It does. Look at that. Yes, I woke up this morning to a wet car. You might ask, why or how did I wake up to a wet car? Well, apparently I left all my windows open last night, and one of the 5 days in San Diego that it decides to rain was last night, and my car was soaking wet. So I did not know that until this morning. So that was a nice surprise. We've got it airing out, and hopefully the sun dries it out quickly. But that was what my morning was like today. So thanks, Lori, for the shout out. I appreciate it. It is doing its best. That's what it's doing right now. So, but it did add a little wrinkle to my day. But regardless, I'm here with all of you, and I'm happy and excited to be here with all of you, and really grateful more than anything that I'm here with all of you and that you are here with me, that you have entrusted me to support you on your journey to hopefully shed a little bit of light and knowledge that may make the difference on your fertility journey. So thanks for being here. Most of all, I am grateful for that, because without all of you joining, I would have no one to speak to. So, so thanks so much. So we're going to get started. I'm going to pop my, let's see how I do this here. I'm going to do this real quick. Give me 1 second, and I'm going to do this. And we're going to get this show on the road. How about that? Okay. We are ready to go, Okay. Thanks for the comments about my car and for the hopefully it dries out soon. It should. I'll keep you posted on Instagram. All right. So how to be more fertile and get pregnant as quickly as we can. So today I'm going to be sharing a ton of information. And as I've said, and as all of you probably know, I've got a special guest with me. So welcome to the fertility training. This live session is going to be all about how you can enhance your fertility so you can get pregnant and become a mom. For those of you who don't know, I'm Dr. Mark Sklar, also known as the fertility expert. If we haven't met before today, I'm really happy that you're here. I'm excited for you to gain a ton of knowledge about your body, what's not letting you get pregnant, and how to create a fertility plan. So thank you so much for being here. We're going to do this now. Beautiful. And as you know, I'm a natural holistic fertility specialist, and I am the leader of a team of experts working together to help couples, all of you from all over the world. And we do have so many from all over the world. As I was saying, all the different countries as we were getting started, we truly are hitting the entire globe and both hemispheres. So thanks for being here today. And that really does, what it means is that we look into all the systems to find out what's not letting you get pregnant by treating your body as a whole system, so that it can work in harmony. And my team and I have helped thousands of couples from all over the world get pregnant and have healthy babies. And I want you to really understand this training is not just about nutrition, what you shouldn't eat or should eat, or this magical supplement pill that everybody's searching for that's going to turn the key and unlock the door and help you get pregnant. It really is about so much more, and you're going to learn about all the pieces of the fertility puzzle that could be helpful. So this training is going to be a little bit different, as I've already mentioned, and I'm really excited. For the first time, I'm having a special guest with me. For a long time, you all have shown interest when I post my stories of hope on my FertilityTV YouTube channel. And so we're going to do a hybrid today of stories of hope and real live case studies and some really useful educational information, because today Sandy is going to be joining us live. I've got her hiding right now, but I'm going to pull her up in just a second. And she's going to be sharing her story with you. It was a long one, and there were lots of ups and downs, but in the end, it is absolutely a story of hope, and that's why she's going to share that with you. So today, how it's going to go is, first, we're going to talk to Sandy. We're going to welcome her on. We're going to chat. We're going to talk about her case. I'm going to ask her questions. I'm really going to let her do the talking here. If we have a little bit of time to let you all ask questions of her, I will do that. And so that you can see how she was able to overcome her fertility struggles and get pregnant. And then second, we're going to talk about the key phases that you need to follow to create your own plan. So before we get started, turn off your distractions, turn off this little guy right here, leave all the social media behind, and let's focus on this wonderful story of hope so that we can get you everything you want. So if you stay until the end, I will do a live Q&A at the end of this training. So if you have questions throughout the training, hold on to them. We're going to do our best to answer them at the end. So save them, write them down, okay? Plus, you're going to get the chance to apply to qualify for the Hope Fertility Coaching Program, where my team and I create a personalized fertility program for you and offer you weekly support forever. That's right, forever. So before we talk about all of those things, we're going to welcome Sandy up. So give me 1 second, because it's going to take me a second to move things around. I've got to do this. I've got to do that. And we've got to do this. Did it show? Yes, it's working. Hi, Sandy.
Hi, Dr. Mark. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. More importantly, how are you?
Doing great. Thank you.
Awesome.
Excited to be here.
Yeah, we're excited to have you here as well. Sandy and I did a little catch up before we went live. So I've got a little update privately in terms of where she's at, but we're going to start talking and maybe we'll get to that in just a little bit. But first, I want you to share your story. I want everyone listening to get an understanding for where things were for you before we started to work together. So I guess my first question for you is, what was going on in your fertility journey, in your reproductive health before you reached out to me?
Yeah, good question. So I had been married for about 3 years and trying to conceive ever since we had got married. We were running into struggles and we were trying to find every natural way possible. So I went to Dr. Google, of course, to ask some questions. I wound up finding, I know, sometimes helpful. In this case, it was helpful because it led me to some YouTube videos that you were doing. And I'm pretty sure I watched like 20 or 30 of your videos like on repeat over and over again, just to try to follow everything that I could. And we had been diagnosed with unexplained infertility, which was frustrating at best. Just not knowing where to start, where to go, and reading every supplement possible out there. And after listening to so many of your YouTube channels, I was really inspired to connect with, at the time, My Fertility School. I know it's changed names since then.
Yeah.
And joined that program.
Awesome. Once you reached out and you joined that program, because before that you were you didn't know what was going on and you didn't really have answers. So how did that change things for you? How did that transition things for you?
Yeah, we had done some rounds with Clomid through my OB, and we had a failed IUI, and at that point nothing was working. So I really wanted to have a more tailored approach to what I was trying to do naturally. I had had blood work run how many times, and there was just no explanation as to what was going on. And without just trying everything and swallowing every supplement pill out there, I really wanted to find out what was going to make a difference, and see if we could try and get to the bottom of the unexplained. And I was watching something like this, and you made a comment that you didn't like the term unexplained, that there was always a reason, and it was maybe kind of a cop-out on a doctor's level. And I was like, this is the guy I need to talk to if he's willing to help me figure out what the real root cause was to the unexplained infertility.
Awesome. Yeah, I do say that often, that I absolutely don't believe in the diagnosis, which is really not a diagnosis, of unexplained infertility. So yeah, that is the case. Someone asked a question. They want to know how old you are.
I am currently 36, almost 37.
And when you started, how old were you?
Let's see. I was probably 30. Well, I was 30 when we started trying to conceive, and then I was probably about 32, 33, somewhere in there by the time I found connected with your group.
And how long were you trying before? Yeah. So how long were you trying before you reached out?
Probably about 2.5, maybe 3 years.
Okay.
At that point, and it was super frustrating. Just not getting anywhere. Okay.
So, for all of you watching, so when Sandy started trying, by many, potentially by many of you watching, you might think she was young, right? Age is relative to all of us. I've spoken to many women who wanted to have children at 22 and 25, some who weren't ready till 30, and some who weren't ready till 40 or beyond, right? So regardless of how old you are when you start trying, it's more about how long you've been trying to get to a certain point and to get those results. And that's really what starts to, wear on us over time, right? That's really what takes I think the emotional toll is just that length of time of repeating over and over and not getting the results that you're looking for.
Yeah.
So when you join the program, we needed to find answers for you so that we can create a plan for you. So what was that process like for you in terms of trying to figure out more answers?
Well, that process was really fascinating because I had lower AMH numbers, and for those of you who've tested, that was low ovarian reserve, and I had elevated prolactin levels, but my doctor didn't seem to think there was anything really that concerning about it, other than she said, you're not going to want to delay too long in trying to have a family because my AMH level was pretty low. So I was really uncomfortable at the time with her direction to send me down the road of IVF. I felt like I was far too young for that, being in my early 30s, and that just felt really scary. So I wanted to try and get around that as much as I could. So Mark had me do some extra testing, the Dutch test and other things that kind of helped us figure out where to go next.
And what answers did you find out? I mean, I know what they are, but I like for that information to come from you versus from me.
So my prolactin level was just a little bit high. It wasn't ridiculously high. And if you look into that, there's all sorts of weird side effects when it gets really high. And I didn't have any of that. But it was an option to do an MRI and find out what was possibly impacting that. And I wound up on a really low dose of a medication that helped bring that number down. And then looking at the AMH, after working with Mark for about 4 months and taking the supplements that he suggested, I went back and had my AMH tested again, and it had gone from, I think it had tripled for me. My number was pretty low, but I finally got up over, I think it was close to a 1.5, and I was below 1 before that. So it was really encouraging to see that number go up when the doctors tell you that that number only goes down. So I felt a lot of hope just in seeing the fruit of what I was doing and the work that we were doing, and that the supplements were actually making a difference.
Yeah, it's truly amazing to be able to see that. And then that gives you that motivation to keep going and keep doing all the things that you're doing, because, it takes some time. So what happened after we had a plan and we started working together? What was that process like for a little bit?
Yeah, so that process was, it involved a lot of supplements, but having seen the result of taking blood tests then 4 months later, I stopped even asking Mark what the supplements were for. I was just like, what do you got for me now? So we were just ordering lots of stuff, but I knew they were working, and my husband would participate as well in some supplements that we had him on. And then, we went down that road for a while, and it still just was taking a lot longer than I wanted it to. So I set up another meeting with Mark at one point and said, I really want this to go faster. What do you think about my decision walking towards IVF, which was really kind of the last thing I wanted to do. Now, looking back on it, it's definitely not the last thing I wanted to do, but it at the time was very scary. And he was really encouraging, saying the timing is really all in your choice, and not to say that there wasn't still a possibility it could have happened naturally, but I found a lot of comfort in hearing those words of you're making a decision that's good for you, and I'll support you through it. And so he was just an amazing advocate for me through that process, where I knew that my best interest was what he was looking at, and it had nothing to do with what the doctor's preferences were, that it was making good choices for me and helping me to see what my choices were.
Yeah, that piece is really important for everyone listening, that I had 100% confidence that this could happen naturally for Sandy, but it wasn't about whether I wanted it to happen naturally or not. I separate myself from that specifically because it's about supporting you where you are, right? And you had put in a lot of time and energy and effort into getting to that point in time. And so at some point we do have to make a decision to see what can we do to speed things up and how we're going to push that forward. But you wouldn't have been, in my opinion, you wouldn't have been ready to receive that and to make that successful without the preparation and the preparatory work that you had already put in. So they definitely worked together to get you to that point. And then we just adjust what you're doing as you start to go through, IVF treatment. So I think that's an important piece. I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
So where are you? We could talk for a while, but for the sake of time, where are you today on your journey?
So to fast forward from deciding to do IVF, that became quite a long journey for me as well. We were with 2 different clinics. We started 5 different cycles. We had 2 retrievals. One of them was unsuccessful. The second one was successful, and we had our first frozen embryo transfer this last summer on right around Father's Day. It was our retrieval, and then a month later was our transfer. It was successful, and so right now I am on the brink of my 3rd trimester, and we're really, really excited to be welcoming our first little baby girl into the world.
Oh, that's great. I see someone was saying, why are we matching in purple? It was completely unplanned, by the way.
It's true.
Not planned, but, and I didn't realize it actually until you just commented that. So, well, we're so excited for you. That's awesome, awesome news. I really I'm always so thrilled to find out when those couples that I'm working with are pregnant. And I was just ecstatic for how long and how much effort you guys had put in. I was really thrilled for you guys. So, again, from the bottom of my heart, congratulations. It's wonderful to hear and see and be part of. So, a couple questions that got asked was, what made the biggest difference for you after working with me?
For my personality, it was really comforting to have the expertise to go to and say, I remember there's one time I was meeting with you, it was really late at night, and I had been an absolute mess the whole day because nothing was going right. I thought there was no hope whatsoever anymore. And I brought up to you, I think that was the day I brought up doing IVF, and I walked away from that feeling so much peace and so much hope, and that I wasn't being shamed for the choice I was making, and that I was going to be supported through that part of my journey too. And there was a plan, and I was met with compassion and a big heart, and I just felt so much care in that moment when I was probably at one of my lowest moments. So that truly made the biggest difference, and would sell my experience over and over and over again, because a doctor can be a doctor, but a doctor with a big heart makes a really big difference, especially in my life.
Oh, thank you. That's really sweet. I appreciate it. Yeah. Well, I want to thank you, one, for taking time out of your day today, but more importantly, for allowing me to be part of your journey. It's really special for me, and I was honored to be part of it, and I can't wait to get a little email with a little picture of a beautiful little one. And so I'm really just happy and ecstatic for you. And as always, just want you to know that I'm always here for you if you need anything.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks
you're
very
welcome.
much.
You have a lot of people commenting saying congratulations, lots of congratulations.
Appreciate it. Thank you. I look forward to being able to do the same for all of you. It's been quite a ride, but it's totally worth it. And hang in there, because even on the toughest days, it can feel like a good day to quit, and it's not worth quitting. Just keep pressing on, because it does make you stronger, and you will get there.
It absolutely true. And someone said how, someone just commented, Elizabeth, she said, not being able to conceive is such a huge taboo, which is why it's so special for Sandy to be here talking with all of you, right? Because she's sharing her story, her real life story and experience with all of you, because we don't want it to be taboo anymore. We want you all to get the information, the knowledge and support you need. So thank you all for listening. Sandy, thanks again for being here with me. I really appreciate it. And I'll connect with you later, okay?
Sounds good.
All right, thank you.
Bye, everyone.
So everybody else, hang tight. We are going to share my presentation. We're going to move on to that right now. I appreciate you all hanging out and listening to Sandy. And now we're going to get into the rest of the training so that you all can get the information, the knowledge, and the support that Sandy was able to get to yield the results that she was able to get. So I want the same thing for all of you. So let's get into it a little bit more now as we jump in beyond the training with all of you. Now, as a reminder, I will answer questions at the end. So keep your questions. I will definitely make sure that I come back and answer as many as I can at the end of my training. So to move on, the reproductive function is not a vital function of the body. I know that might surprise many of you. So the reality is it's the first thing that stops when something else is not working. And if we find out what that is, we fix it, then your body will hopefully be fertile again. Your body has many other things that are much more important than conceiving: breathing, eating, digesting, living, right? Just regular functioning that we need to do. Reproduction is not at the top of the list. I know we might feel like it is, but it's not. And that's the reality of it. So our body needs to prioritize all these other things. So what if what you were doing was working, you'd be pregnant right now, right? I mean, that would really be the case. And so oftentimes we need to do things differently to get different results. And that's what Sandy did. She started to approach things differently at many different times. Sandy didn't quit on her dream, and I don't expect that from any of you, right? But she asked for help when she needed it. So take this training as an opportunity for a fresh start on your fertility journey to your future baby. So who is ready to have a baby? If you are, and I know you are, I want you to just type yes into the comment section of the video, because I want you all to know how many of you are focused on the same thing, okay? Now, let's see if we get yes. Let's see if we get yeses. I always wait for my comment section to start trickling. Beautiful. I love it. Now I can move on because I see all the yeses. Okay, so phase 1 is about testing, not guessing. Have you all had your hormones tested? Not just the ones needed for IVF, but full hormone testing to find out if your endocrine system is working optimally. Have you ruled out all other causes? Let's look at what some of these look like, because I promise you many of you had not, most of you have probably not had many of these done. So on day 2, 3, or 4 of your cycle, we want you to be testing FSH, LH, estradiol, AMH, prolactin. Sandy talked about prolactin levels, testosterone, DHEA. These are key ones. And in addition to that, we also want to get a good understanding for the overall health of your body. And we do that by running some of these other labs like vitamin D, homocysteine, CBC, a full thyroid panel. Also, it's also important to know when to run your progesterone levels. So that's done 7 days post-ovulation. And then also getting your partner or husband checked with a full semen analysis and getting a good understanding for how your uterus is functioning. So it's not listed here, but also having your ovaries and uterus not your ovaries, your uterus, and your fallopian tubes, excuse me, evaluated to make sure they are all open and functioning properly. This is going to sound crazy, but around 92% of you watching haven't had enough fertility testing done. And it's not your fault. So many of the women, the couples, come to me complaining about the lack of access to hormone testing in their doctor's office, that they just won't do it. They're just looking for the bare minimum. I have firsthand experience with the frustration it can cause to be told you don't need more hormone testing when the reality is you do need more information. You need more insight because we need a more complete picture. So the good news is that you now have the chance to take charge of your hormone testing by yourself because you can do it on your own. Before I get into nutrition, I want you all to know that when we're talking about labs, you can order whatever you think you need for yourself without having the approval of your doctor. You will have to look for options on how to run that and go to a private lab, but you can do it, and I encourage you all to do that. And if you decide to, at the end, join my coaching program and work with us, we will support you in that process as well. So phase 2 is about nutrition. I believe that every diet should be personalized to your needs. And that's exactly what my team and I will do for you in the Hope Fertility program. But here are some basics. And I do want to remind you all, I say this all the time, there is no one size fits all when it comes to nutrition. This is a starting point, not an ending point. And you all need to find the right path and the right plan for all of you. So having an overall makeup of 30% protein, 40% fat, 40% carbs is really the overall ratio that we're looking for. And then we make adjustments with everybody based on their diagnosis and their needs. This is an example of a what I call the fertility food pyramid, okay, which shows you that the most important things are along the bottom and you build up from that, right? So down here, you have meat and bone broth and fermented foods. You've got your vegetables, fiber, you got some juice, plenty of water. And then we build up from that, okay? And that's really the most important thing. The other piece that's really essential when we're talking about diet is quality of food. What is the quality? Where does it come from? We don't want all the conventional foods with all the hormones and chemicals and pharmaceuticals and so forth, antibiotics in them. We want clean food. So quality is one of the most important things that we need to do. And coming back to this topic of there is no one size fits all when it comes to food and diets is, I have a woman, she just reached out to me this week. I've been working with her. And she was not happy about the diet I recommended. It was a struggle for her, and it was challenging, and it was difficult. But in the end, she sent me her new labs today, or not today, 2 days ago. She sent me her new labs, and her labs have changed dramatically since she has incorporated the plan. And so she thanked me. She said, for as hard as the diet program was and continues to be, it's been beneficial. She's seen the change and she was very grateful for it. So sometimes I bring this story up because sometimes change is not easy and following this is not easy. It takes effort and it takes commitment and willpower. But in the end, the right plan for you as an individual gets you the results that you need because it's tailored to your needs. So again, these are just templates. You all need a specific customized plan for all of you. This is a little snapshot of a form that I have in the program that just gives you a general rule of thumb and guideline on the different types of foods that you can and should be eating. And I also encourage all of you and invite you to create a diet log. The diet log is really eye-opening. Everybody says the same thing. Oh, I eat well. And then when they write it down, they realize, I thought I drank more water, but I really don't. I thought I ate more vegetables, but most of the time I really don't. And not, on top of it, what this food journal does, this diet log, is it also allows you to see how you feel after you eat these things. When did you eat? What did you eat? How much? And how did it make you feel? right? We want to be aware of what we're putting into our bodies and how it makes us feel, because that gives us a ton of information and feedback. So I also want to touch base about the importance of detoxifying for fertility as well. Many of the women I work with have been trying, doing several IVFs and never done what I call a reset detox. I recommend doing one cleanse/detox a year, especially if you're taking medication, hormones, or you feel like something's off. I might even suggest doing it more often than that. If you've gone through an IVF cycle, if you have gone through many rounds of hormones, then absolutely this is something that you should be doing. Let's see here. Someone wrote a comment, by the way, that it's very expensive to do all these tests. I understand that. And sometimes it's important. It's necessary to do all these tests because you need to get answers. It's more expensive to spend your time not getting the results that you want because you're not getting the answers that you deserve. And so if you're not getting the right testing done, then we're going to take much longer potentially to get pregnant. And it's going to be a much harder journey. And in the end, I do believe it's actually going to be more expensive for you. All right. So sometimes by spending a little bit upfront, it saves you money in the long term. So that's just my comment about the test being expensive. All right. Coming back to detoxing. I do recommend you do this at least once a year. Anyone who is trying to conceive and who wants to have a healthy pregnancy should consider a fertility detox. 100% you should. And here's why detoxing is so important. Detoxing is not only about diet. Stop doing things you don't like as well. This is much more about lifestyle in addition to diet. I just did a detox with my wife. It was a 3-week detox and it was great. We slept better, we felt better, and we were able to reset our brains and our body. And so it's not just about stop eating foods, but it's also about stop doing the things that bring you stress, that you don't like to do, and that you need a little bit of break from. So stop being with people you don't want to be around and are making you unhappy. You're going to take a detox, a break from them. Stop watching all the news and TV and social media that stresses us out. Take a detox, take a break from them. Try doing this for 21 days and see how you feel. This is something that I teach you inside my programs. We get all the members started with a 21-day detox so you can reset your fertility and get pregnant faster. It's truly amazing the feedback that I hear from everybody when they start doing this. They feel so much better. So I want to encourage all of you to start with some of these things now. It can make you feel better and regulate your hormones naturally by doing a detox. Increase your energy and improve overall health. Rid your body of harmful toxins and fertility medication, or any medication for that matter, and that's super important. Increase your chances of getting pregnant naturally, which we all want, and prepare your body for pregnancy and a healthy baby. It also allows you to find new ways to nurture your body and your spirit, right? We were just talking about that. And deepen the mind-body connection and your positive outlook on life. And last, it also can support your body naturally with foods that nourish your fertility and nourish your soul. So this is so important to do, and that's why. We tend to put all of so much attention into phase 3 right here, into supplements. And I want to encourage all of you to make sure that those first 2 phases are solid, that you have all the information you need with testing, and that you've put in a considerable effort into your nutrition and doing a detox before you start looking for that magic pill, okay? Because that magic pill doesn't exist. We need a comprehensive plan to get us the results that we're looking for. So I could talk all day about supplements. I do really love them quite a bit. But the main thing I want you to understand is that not all supplements are the same, and not all supplements are good for you. Just because someone said you should take some, or they took something that helped them get pregnant, doesn't mean it's going to do the same thing for you. You need a specific plan based on your lab work, based on your needs to get you the results that you want. And that's why it's important for you to get the lab work done, to understand what your body needs, and to take only those things that really are going to address those areas that need it. So with that being said, I'm sure you all want a few recommendations about supplements. So here are my favorite ones that I recommend that you start taking. If you're registered for this training, you're going to get an email with a link to all of these. So don't worry about scrambling to write them all down. If you're watching from YouTube, you can find the link in the description below, but don't go there now. Okay. You're going to get all of this afterwards. So go there after the training. So these are the ones that I love. It's FH Pro for men and women, Neo Q10. You could actually see I even got it right here, which is an amazing CoQ10. Ovasitol, my only and top rated maca supplement, which is Feminescence Maca Harmony. We all need an amazing organ complex, which gives us all the micronutrients that we need. And speaking of micronutrients, all the super greens we need as well. So I want you to know that most of you could benefit from all of these things, but some of you might need some customization. But if you wanted to get started on some supplements, this is the place to get started right here. Okay, so phase 4, check with your emotions, checking on your emotional and mental health. The journey to motherhood is a tough one, or can be, and often takes all your mental space. It's all you can think about, and it feels like your life is on hold. I remember having a conversation with Sandy. We didn't get into it for time purposes, but I remember having a conversation with Sandy, who you heard earlier, and she was saying how we haven't been on a vacation in a year and a half, and we wanted to do all of these things, but we've put them all on hold for fertility. I'm not a fan of that. I believe that we all need to live our life simultaneously as we're going through our fertility journey, that everything shouldn't be put on hold for it, because you're going to have a lot of regrets, a lot of frustrations, and a lot of anger if you do. So don't let that happen. Here are 2 things that you can start to do right now. And there are many more that I get into in my program, but for the sake of keeping this training not so long, we're going to focus on just a few of them today. So I want you all to create a list of the things that you love to do, and more importantly, start to do them. The first thing, you're going to fill in the blanks here, okay? The first thing I enjoy is blank. In my case, is going camping. I'm going to dedicate time for myself to do this once a month, whatever, however you're going to do that, once a week, and it's going to happen at this time, right? This is you writing down what your commitment is to yourself to do the things that you love to do and stop putting them on hold. Whatever it is, if it's hiking, if it's traveling, whatever it might be, I want you to write it down. And then number 2, create a fertility morning routine. This is just an example, one that I like to encourage, but you can do it a different way. You have to make it right for yourself. 5 minutes of cuddling with your partner when you wake up. All too often we wake up and we head out the bed and we don't, spend time in being grateful for waking up and being grateful for the person next to us. Then you can move on to 5 minutes of meditation and breathing. Then 5 minutes of writing positive affirmations or reviewing your positive affirmations. Drinking a big glass of room temperature water to help your body get started, and then move your body by stretching or going for a little walk or jumping, something like that. This is a beautiful morning routine, but you all have to do your own morning routine to make it powerful and meaningful. And a little extra tip, spend quality time with your partner. Make time for each other. Enjoy your time together. Don't let the baby dancing be just about making babies. That's no fun, right? Enjoy each other for the sake of enjoying each other, and be with each other because you love to, okay? Get back to why you love being with your partner and enjoy that space, that time. Okay, phase 5, fertility home therapies. You may have heard me talk about these before. Home therapy techniques are easy treatments you can do at home to enhance your fertility. They also empower you to make changes and progress on your journey. So some of the ones that I enjoy are vaginal steam bath, or Castro packs, or acupressure, or abdominal massage. I want you to create a schedule similar to what the members receive. I'll show it to you in just a moment, so you can do it at home. Now, you don't have to incorporate all these things. I don't want to cause more stress. I want you all to at least just pick one of these things and start to incorporate it into your life and into your process, okay? But this is a perfect example of what it might look like. You have all the home therapies on the left, the days of the week, and then you're gonna map out when you're gonna do them, and you're gonna put this up so you know when to follow it, and more importantly, you're gonna add it to your schedule, okay? You're gonna add it there to your schedule so that you get a reminder when you have to do it and it becomes easier for you. But these are key pieces that can help you on your fertility journey. Now, phase number 6 is environmental toxins. Is your environment, personal products, your home, or your habits not letting you get pregnant? The answer is probably yes in some varying degree. Maybe some of you more, some of you less. So first and foremost, I did talk about this when we talked about doing a detox. I'm going to talk about it again here, is getting rid of the toxic people in your life. There are people that bog you down, that don't make you happy. And every time they call, they text, or they reach out to you, or you see them, you're like, oh, them again, right? Get away from them. Surround yourself by people that you love and enjoy being with. Don't allow negative energy, especially about your fertility, to infiltrate into your life. Get rid of it. Do you watch TV, spend a lot of time on your computer at night or on social media? Tune out, turn it off. We have to get rid of those things. Those are both toxins mentally and emotionally, and to the chemical makeup of our brain when we're spending too much time in front of a screen. Clean up the toxins in your house and replace them with cleaner options. And the same thing goes for cooking products, personal products. I just said review your beauty products. These are all things that we have to do, and we can do this in phases and do it slowly. You got to phase them out and phase the new ones in. So we've talked about phase 1, test, don't guess. We've talked about nutrition and detox. We've talked about supplements. We've also talked about cultivating a positive mindset. And the last 2 were home therapies and environmental toxins. Here are some of the members who got a personalized plan and were able to get pregnant working with me. Now, I did share Sandy's personal story live with all of you, so I'm not going to press play here for her. But she was also able to achieve her pregnancy. And you can find her story of hope on my website under Stories of Hope. And then we have Caitlin and Donna. Caitlin was unexplained infertility. They were both actually told unexplained infertility. But Caitlin had hypothyroidism and endometriosis, which is not unexplained. And Donna had, she was of advanced maternal age, and she had hypothyroidism and PCOS, which is very common to see. Again, not unexplained. And they were both able to get pregnant, but it took them time, 6 years and 7 years respectively. Okay. And so it also shows you the different ranges. Caitlin was 31, Donna was 45, and Sandy was 36, she just said. So we have the whole gamut that we can see. This is not a theory. This actually works. These steps and so much more are the ones that I use to create the fertility plans that are helping thousands of women all over the world get pregnant and have healthy babies. These women like you were struggling and trying to find the reasons why they weren't getting pregnant, spending hours researching online, going to doctors, and still getting negative tests every month. If you're thinking, I'm ready, where do I start? All you have to do is commit, focus, and take action, which you've already done by taking time to be here in this class today with me, okay? This was the first step for all of you. I just gave you 6 phases you need to follow to create your fertility plan. But as I'm sure you can imagine, this is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to getting to the root cause of your fertility and getting pregnant. So you do have 2 options. We always have options, right? We can do it the hard way. And Sandy was doing that for a while as she was using Dr. Google, taking a bunch of supplements that weren't getting the results that she wanted because they weren't tailored to her needs. Or you can do it in an easier way, taking a proven, successful path of having a fertility coach by your side, having you work with you step by step, and personalizing a plan to help you empower your fertility naturally so that you can get pregnant faster. If you're committed to having a baby and decide to work with me and my team, nothing is held back, no missing steps. You just need to follow my lead step by step and let me hold your hand through the process. I am on a mission to help you get pregnant, to remove the headaches and the bad advice given by Dr. Google, and give you the exact plan you need to be on to get pregnant and be fertile. And that's what our Hope Fertility program includes: years of experience looking into your case and creating a personalized plan. We have been helping couples get pregnant with all different conditions from all over the world. Success stories even from those who were told that they needed IVF or that they needed to do donor egg, and they were still able to get pregnant. So are you ready for results? These are just more stories of hope. Again, I'm not going to spend a lot of time reading through them. You can find these all on my website. But this is just recent. I want you to see December 7th, very recent, right? I hope you're well. Our son Mateo was born November 3rd, and we are now a family of 4. And this goes on, right? So I want you all to know that it's possible. Right here, we have another post showing her big family, beautiful family, but she had to keep trying. It didn't happen very easily. Having Mark as my fertility coach has made this challenging process so much better, and I am so grateful. In my opinion, having a good fertility coach is worth every penny and has saved me from so much heartache and confusion. So we don't ever work with people on false promises and only accept applications from people whom we truly believe we can help. Do you want to apply? Here's how the process is going to work for all of you. Okay. Who is this for? This is for women over 40 that are serious about not wasting their fertile years. Women over 35 who've been trying for over 6 months, and women who are between 30 and 35 who've been trying to conceive for over a year or have been diagnosed with a fertility condition or multiple miscarriages. If you are younger than 30 and you've been trying for over 2 years or have been diagnosed with a fertility condition or have had multiple miscarriages, this program is for you. Women who are done researching and want an expert to put the dots together to finally see results. And women who are ready to get to the root cause, to those normal results that are probably not normal. That, if you fall into these categories, you are in the right place. Anyone who feels like this on their journey, my biggest fear is that I'm too old and it's not going to happen for me. If it does work, will my baby be healthy? These are real life statements from couples we've worked with, okay? I'm constantly wondering, do I have PCOS? Do I have endometriosis? Do I have whatever other fertility condition? Why have I not conceived yet? What's wrong with me? I'm doing this on my own, and so there's no accountability. Without support, it's easier to give up. Every negative test sets me back on my journey. My doctors just aren't moving quick enough. Recommendations for labs and other things are taking a long time, and I'm worried my time is running out. I hear this all the time. And I've already been down the medical route and taken the medicines, and I still didn't get pregnant. I'm having to look for natural solutions on my own to get results. So these are real life statements. If this sounds like you're invited to apply to see if you qualify for a call to enroll in my Hope Fertility program. Myself and my team have set aside time in the next 3 days to talk to you and see if we can help. The call is approximately 30 minutes, and the intention is to understand your fertility and health based on the information in your application and to identify how and if we are the right fit to work together inside of our Hope Fertility program. So you can apply now by going to marksklar.com/discovery call. We're going to put that link in the comment section in just a minute to make that easier for you. There are a lot of people on this masterclass. If I look down right now, we're at almost 300, and our schedule can only handle 7 calls a day. So you must apply now. Okay. If you've already had a call with my team, no need to apply again. Use the link they sent you via the email after your call to complete your enrollment and join the program. So if you've already spoken to my team, you've already gotten an email. You don't need to sign up up for a discovery call again. But if you haven't, then this is your opportunity. So here's what I know to be true. Many of the members of my program and all the testimonials you see, like Sandy, won't be moms today without investing in the fertility coach that can look into their cases and finally get them answers. Trusting experts who know how to take you where you were, to take you from where you were to where you want to be, is the key to a fast and smooth journey to motherhood. So where do you want to be in a year? Sharing your success story like Sandy, I'd love it. I'd love it. Or watching another training to see if you can figure things out on your own. Again, you can apply at marksklar.com/discovery call. Okay. And now I'm going to take questions. So give me 1 second to just switch over. And I'm going to hide that. Perfect. And I am here. Okay. So everybody, the link is there. I know you all have questions. So shoot away. Post your questions. I'm going to look at what is posted here. Let's see here. Okay. Cynthia says, I'm 41. I have 3 kids, conceived quickly. Hold on. With all 3, I fell pregnant last year, 14 weeks, had an emergency abortion. I'm really sorry to hear that. Now can't fall pregnant. Doctor says it's my age. My infertility started after the abortion. I don't believe that's the case. It can't all of a sudden be your age. I would encourage you to have your uterus looked at again to see if there's anything else that may have developed as a result of the abortion, Cynthia. I'm really sorry to hear the news. Kate says, seems to me our ancestors were having children well into their 40s. Perhaps it's our environment. I agree, Kate. I do believe that many of you should be able to and can get pregnant well into your 40s, but we don't live in the same world that our ancestors used to. And so we have to accommodate our habits now. We have to change what we're doing now to address those things, environment being one of them, but that's not the only thing. And that's what I work with each one of the couples that I work with. Maria says, hi, doctor. If my TPO test is 251 and my TSH is 2.4 and my T4 is 0.9, does that mean that I have Hashimoto's? What it means is that you have an autoimmune thyroid. And if things don't get addressed properly over time, that will become and be able to be diagnosed as Hashimoto's. And this absolutely can be a cause for your fertility struggles. Sandra says, do you work with, I'm not sure what you're saying here. Do I work with, maybe it's men on their fertility too? Absolutely, I do. But men don't normally show up to my trainings. All of you do. So I give my trainings to all of you. Absolutely 100%, 50% of the trying journey is about the other side as well. And we cannot ignore it. And I absolutely do not ignore it when I work with my couples. Was Donna in your program for 7 years? No. No, Donna was not in my program for 7 years. She was on her journey, and we worked with her towards the end of that to help her get pregnant. No, but I did not work with her for 7 years. Jasmine says, how do we get tested to see if you have PCOS? Is it an OB or a fertility specialist? Either one can do it. They just have to do the right testing. That's really what it comes down to. Yeah. And then Shirley says, at Kate, it does make me question why women in Africa into their late 40s were having babies. Okay, I think I answered that. I have one fallopian tube and it's blocked, and my air quality last IVF failed due to high folate. I'm sorry, I don't know the question there, and I'm just trying to go through these as quickly as possible so I can get you all answers. I am a high producer, but low egg quality. I'm reading it starts with the egg and plan to follow the advanced plan for people doing IVF. Do you have any other recommendations? What I can tell you, Robin, from working with many, many women who have read that book okay, and I know that book well, is that advanced plan is not meant for you specifically. It's a general plan, and it needs to be tailored to your needs based on your health, your results, your reproductive health, and your lab work. So I would encourage you to use that only as a template and not as the main guide. Our last tests are fine, have one kid, but now trying for 8 years, but couldn't get pregnant. I'm sorry to hear that. And Veronica says, how can you get your body on track after a miscarriage? It takes time, but it can be done. And the first step is to really look at your hormones and balance those out. So I'm going to look at some questions down here. Give me one moment. Can I be coached from the UK? 100%. I work with couples all over the world, any country, really. I'm 47 and would like to have a baby. My menstrual cycle is irregular. What can I do? Without looking at your hormones, it's hard for me to know. Yeah. But we do need to be aggressive about that because your hormones it seems like your cycles are starting to become irregular. And that's something that needs to be addressed sooner rather than later. And poor egg quality after 40, is IVF the way forward? If we can't do anything to support your egg quality, then yes, but I believe that there's a lot that can be done to support your egg quality. So I would like to think that IVF is not the only option, but if it is the option for you, you can still be supported, but you do want to prepare your body before you get to IVF so that you can make sure that all the energy, time, and money that you put into IVF is going to be worthwhile. My AMH is 3.6. My doctor said that it is low. What do you think? It depends on which parameter you're looking at, which reference range you're looking at, because different countries have different ranges. And whatever, for some reason, the word is escaping me right now. But in my world, 3.6 is pretty good. Okay, I'm in my 40s and need to get pregnant. Again, I just have one child. How do I do that? I need more information. I need to be able to look at your case, look at your hormones, and be able to guide you appropriately. When you were diagnosed with unexplained infertility, did you run a hormone profile? I think that was for Sandy. The answer is yes, 100% for her. I ran a very, very detailed panel, more detailed than the labs I shared here with you, including many other labs, to get the right answers for what was going on with her, to then be able to guide her properly. So yes. I'm currently water fasting. Is that a good detox? No, I do not believe that it is. I don't like it, and I think our body still needs nourishment. It just needs to be done the right way. Was there a diagnosis for Sandy after all the tests? Yeah, she did share that with you. She did have low ovarian reserve from the beginning. There was a high prolactin, which showed me that there was a pituitary issue that needed to be supported and addressed. Those were some of the bigger issues that needed to be supported. And she had low AMH, which also needed to be supported. I'm not looking at her whole case in front of me, so I couldn't give you the full breadth of everything, but those are the big things that jumped out for me. So I'm a vegan. What about modifying for vegans? I do modify for vegetarians and vegans. We're going to accommodate you based on where you are, but in your diet plan, but we're still going to need you to do some things in terms of your whole plan to make sure we can get the results that we need. What percentage of success do you have? So with the couples that work with us who are not going through IVF, we have a 60 to 70% success rate. For those who are going through IVF, we have a 50% success rate. You might say, why is that the case? Well, twofold. Those who are going through IVF often come to us a little bit later so that we don't have as much time to support them. And two, we can't do everything that we would normally do when someone's going through IVF. So we have to pull back on some things. So it just depends on where you come to us and how much time we have. Was Donna in? Oh no, I already answered that one. I am 42, have been trying for 18 years. I feel like my time is running out. I'd love to know how much to work with you, Dr. Mark. Well, I mean, I'm not sure what the question is. I don't think your time is running out if we can find answers. If we can't find answers, you know, then I think it's going to be hard. But you still have time. It's not running out. You still have time, in my opinion, but we need answers to create a solid plan for you. Okay. Going to be 35 in May, been married 11 years and still trying. I need you to hold my hand, please. I'd be honored to hold your hand through the process. And how do you deal with someone who's on a vegan or plant-based diet? I think I answered that. We're going to accommodate you and support you. We got to make sure that you also get those micronutrients that you're missing on that diet, so that you can get the best results possible. And I'm 41. I have had 2 tubal pregnancies, one resulting in removal of my right fallopian tube. So can I get pregnant with one fallopian tube? You can get pregnant with one fallopian tube. We do need to be careful to make sure that this doesn't happen again. And we might need to take a little time out from trying so that we can support you properly so that we don't end up in the same situation. Because if we lose your other tube, for sure, we're down the road of IVF. Yeah. And it might still be something we want to contemplate at your age, by the way. So, okay, I'm going to try and find some more questions here. I think I've got 1 or 2 more that I can answer. Let's see. We answered that one. Dairy, yes or no? I don't mind a little bit of dairy as long as it's organic and grass-fed and full fat. How about that? All right, everyone, just a reminder, we are opening up more time for applications in the coming few days, but we have a limited availability of space to be able to do that. So if this is something that you want to do, then I encourage you to apply, okay? Please apply. The link is right there in the comment section. If you're watching this on YouTube, the link will be in the description. If you want to apply to work with me and my team, we'd be honored to support you. But the first step to that process is to apply. And look, again, I want to say, I know she's not with us. I want to say thank you to Sandy for joining me today. I want to say thank you to all of you for being here all the way to the end so that I can answer your questions and we can support you as best as we can. And most of all, I want you all to take a step back, to reevaluate where you are in your fertility journey, to reevaluate where you want to go and how you want to get there. This could be the start of that. And as I often say, we all need hand-holding, we all need support, we all need coaches at different times in our lives. And I believe that that is also true on our fertility journey. So yes, please, if this is something that interests you, take a moment, apply to work with my team and I to see if you qualify to join my program. All right, everyone, we've gone over an hour. I want to respect all of your time as well to make sure I don't take up too much of it. I want to wish you all a wonderful, wonderful day, an amazing weekend. And please, in these times, please stay safe and stay healthy. And most of all, as I always love to say, stay fertile. I will see you all soon. Be well, everyone.